105K Jams, hip hop and R&B hits. Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Ali Shaw, and I am on the phone today with a living legend. And I'm going to give him, a decent introduction. I hope I do him justice. But he is definitely someone I have respected in the game for a minute. Rapper, songwriter, actor, film producer. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016. I'm trying to give you a few hints here. And he received a Lifetime Achievement Grammy Award this year. And he's a family man, and he's grandfather, and he does all kind of things in his personal life. But more importantly, we are here to celebrate him, the artist, in his 40-year career. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Weekend Rewind. It's Ice Cube, y'all.
Yay.
I was waiting for that fake applause in there. How you feeling? You good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm real good.
Good. I'm so happy that we get to see you perform live here again in Tulsa. About a week from today, Saturday, November 16th, you're going to be at River Spirit Casino. And I know you're going to be in Durant. It's not Durant, it's Durant the night before. You excited for the tour?
I am.
Yeah.
I love coming to Oklahoma. Been getting a lot of love lately. Well, my whole career, but actually been coming. I brought the big three there, and then I came, me and Snoop, and, did some solo stuff there. So it's cool to be back.
Yeah, I was at that show. Me and one of my best friends went to it was March of 2022. You, Snoop, Warren G, Dub C was there. That was an amazing show. Y'all did that. The crowd went crazy for y'all.
Yeah, it was fun. We're going to, do a little more. I got a new single out called It's My Ego. So
yes, sir.
New album coming.
Yes, sir.
So, I just want to rock it out there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and so speaking of It's My Ego, congratulations, because you debuted on the top 10 on Billboard's Rap Digital Song Sales chart recently. So congratulations to you on that. That's huge.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, it shows that if you, stay true to who you are and do what you're supposed to do, the fans will reward you and support you. And it's been real cool since we put the song out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw the video a couple of times, and I wanted to talk to you about that and how that all came together. Like, what was the concept behind it, and I wanted to see if you could shout out the director as well, because it was super dope concept. I loved it.
Yeah, the director is a guy named Gabriel Hart, young black dude who I've been doing videos with for seemed like 10 years now, here and there, and we did a concept, we listened to the lyrics and, the stuff I'm talking in the lyrics. It was kind of like the video wrote itself. And so, we're just having fun with it. I wanted to bring a little fun back to hip-hop and also, bring back the big production and, do a video that people can watch multiple times and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely that. I like the parody sense of it too, but you still Cube, you still, I don't know. I sit here and think about, my show is old school, right? 80s, 90s, and some early 2000s hip hop and R&B. And I gotta say, there's so many times that I play No Vaseline sometimes, but it's the radio version. And you know how many people call me up and be like, I wish you could play the dirty version. I said, you and me both.
Yeah. I'm glad we made radio versions for those songs,
Man,
and you can even play that.
I tell a lot of artists, even here locally, like, hey, make radio versions. And I don't mean like edit the word out, like, no, replace the word. Remember how it used to be in the 90s? You replace the word and it still was cool. So, yeah, I kind of miss that.
Still can rock.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes the radio versions sound better than the dirty version.
Yeah, it made me think of Scarface. Like, he had we on the radio? And then he would do that. Do his version, yeah. But I love playing No Vaseline, but when I get to play out somewhere, I definitely am not playing the radio version when I'm DJing.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Right. So the new single dropped on October 18th. You got the video out, but the overall project, Man Down, is dropping on Friday, November 22nd. So I wanted to see if you could talk to us a little bit about that and, what was the inspiration behind that? Because, you had a different place in not only in your career, but in life. So can you speak to that, please?
I still love hip-hop, still love making records. When we first started off, when I was about 14, 15, we never thought we was gonna make a career out of it. It was just fun. It was like a hobby, and it's still fun. I did this record really for Ice Cube fans. It's a lot of different hip hop fans out there, and that's cool. But I specifically made this record for people that's been down with me from day one. I know they're gonna love this record, and it's topical. Of course, I'm talking that street knowledge. What I mean? Hitting people up here and there, but for the most part, it's just good music like we remember.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just wanted to kind of, stay in my lane, but ultimately, hit it out the park too. And I think It's My Ego is a perfect example of taking what people love about me and bringing it to the new millennium.
Yeah. Well, I like how you said hit it out the park because, I definitely want to talk to you about Game 2 of the World Series this year, sir. And let me say, as an Ice Cube fan, I'm upset because I didn't get to see it happen live, and that was the one game I missed. I don't even know what I had going on. But, of course, I caught the recap, and I went back and rewinded it and all the things. And I'm hollering at the TV because all I could think was, if I ever got a chance to ask Ice Cube, how did he feel, what would I say? And then I get, a request for an interview like maybe a week later, and I'm like, Lord really does answer my prayers. But so what I want to ask you is this. I believe that was a childhood dream of yours. I saw you kind of talk about it, on your social media and stuff. And so if I were to ask O'Shea Jackson how it felt to walk out of center field, crispy with your Dodgers, you looked amazing. What did that feel like that day?
Oh man, it's like next level. It's almost like a magical feeling. I grew up watching this team. I grew up watching in the 70s when the Yankees beat the Dodgers. And then in the 80s, we finally got a chance to beat them. And just actually being at that series and being a part of it, even in that way, getting them hyped up for the game. Dream come true stuff. What was cool is my brother, my daddy was in the stands, and they remember how we was, during those times. And to be able to share the moment with my whole family, kids was there. It was just next level, It's really hard to put into words because everything was so special. And the team responded and won the game. And then they said they won it because of the performance. We still on the highs from that.
Yeah.
And we still riding high from that, yeah.
I got to say, too, I watched the recap, of your experience, like walking out. And by the way, whoever is on your team putting together all of your videos, and they're doing a phenomenal job. So tell them I said thank you for that. It was the look on your face. Like, I felt that. When I saw it, I was like, oh, now that's O'Shea right there. Like, that was some next level stuff. That was what I said when I shared the post on my social media page was, this is what it looks like when you've paid your dues, and you've been in this for a minute.
Like,
yeah.
The gates open, there's 52,000 people there screaming and like ready to go. And I think, by them, hitting the grand slam the night before to win the game,
yeah,
it just put an extra lot of more energy into the crowd. So it was, I couldn't have wrote a better script. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have said, yo, how do I want this to go? Write it down.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have surpassed what we did.
It was a movie, and it was perfectly choreographed. Like the way you changed the lyrics to Bow Down. By the time you got to home plate, you're doing It Was a Good Day. And I'm like, oh, it's a perfect song for this moment. You end up in the batter's box. You make the mic like it's a bat, and you drop the mic on home plate. I said, man, I don't know who put that together. Was that all you? I'm assuming. That was dope. Super dope. Thank you for that performance. And thank you to the Dodgers for winning.
Definitely, because it definitely made it, it cemented it.
Yeah.
And definitely LA legacy, World Series legacy. Hopefully people will always remember that.
I do have a question for you. You said you were about 14 or 15 when you started rapping. How did you get your name? I've read a story about it, your stage name. I read a story about it, but I wanted to see if you can confirm it for me.
Well, my older brother gave me the name. He's like 9 years older than me. And so I would be at home, and all his girlfriends would call. He would never be there. I would try to knock him down myself. And they was, telling him, and he was getting mad. He was like, yo, back in the day, when you had old refrigerators or old appliances,
Yeah, ice
you
box.
just put it on the curb and dude would come by in the truck and pick it up. Well, we had an old refrigerator on our block that stayed there forever, and they would never come pick it up. And he was like, you know that refrigerator up the street? I'm going to put your ass in there, and when they pull you out, you're going to be an ice cube. So I just kind of like was just teasing him with that name, and then I just took it outside and ran with it and just told everybody, that's what you call me now. Just call me Ice Cube.
I just think that's so dope. I love that. Your brother gave you your stage name. Like, how fitting that you have that story in your mind.
Yeah, it was funny.
I love that. So I want to go back to the new album, please, Man Down. I know it's got like 19 tracks on it. Are there any, besides, It's My Ego, like, are there any other tracks you would like to highlight or talk about? And I also want to get into, like, people you've collaborated with, producers, etc.
Yeah, I think people would like, records like So Sensitive, She's Sanctified, dope record, Fighting for My Life in Paradise. I got a song called Talking About These Rappers, which is commentating really on how many people use rappers as their topics on the internet. And, just records to me that are kind of sign of the time records. And that's kind of been my specialty, kicking that street knowledge. And that's what we're doing on this record. Got records like Not Like Them, which was dope. Record called Facts, is talking about me and JD and him going to prison on murder charges. He spent 27, 28 years in prison. Just kind of giving my commentary on how things are going in this world.
And JD is featured on that particular track?
Yeah, he on there.
I see that you've also collaborated with Be Real, Too Short, Corrupt. Any other collaborations on the album?
Exhibit, Snoop, E40, it's on the record. And I don't like to do a lot of collaborations, but I think I did enough on this record to just keep it moving, keep it interesting, keep it alive. Yeah, I think it's, I wouldn't be putting it out if I didn't think it was ready.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, you don't really need it. You're Ice Cube, but it's nice to hear that. But, this is your first solo project in, 8 years?
About 6.
Okay.
8.
6 to 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, I mean, a lot of times, I don't know, for me, it feels like, oh, really? It's been that long. Like, because your body of work is just so impressive. Like, I think about Pushing Weight was my song for a long time. I still, to this day, am like, you know what, let me put on my gym playlist, and it's right there at the top, because it's just, it hits hard, but it's also just like if you really want to walk around and feel confident for a minute, drop that song for a second. But then, of course, I'm definitely a girl from like the late 80s, early 90s. I love Steady Mobbin'. I'm sure I'll be dedicating my entire back-to-back segment to you today. I have a segment where songs that use samples and then I play the original. And Steady Mobbin' is always one of my favorites to pick. So, yeah. One thing I did learn about you, too, I had no idea. Del the Funky Homo Sapien is your cousin?
Yeah, I just talked to him today.
Did you really?
Talked to him today, yeah.
It's so funny because I'm laughing about it because I had my little brother say to me one time, you sound like the lady on Mr. Dabalina. And he sends me a clip and he was like, you sound Mr. He's like, say it real quick and put it back to back. You sound like her. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting fact. Another thing that I definitely wanted to ask you too, as our fans that are out there that want to know you as an actor and film producer and whatnot, is there going to be another Friday movie? A lot of people have been asking me that today here in the office, and I'm sure my best friend Maisha wants to know the same thing. She's actually from Cali, and Friday she watches like every day. So can you answer that for us?
Yeah, I believe it will be. We working on some like final paperwork with Warner Brothers, and once we get those contracts right, then we can actually start making a movie.
Yeah.
It seems imminent that it's going to happen. And, we're just really waiting on the lawyers to do their thing.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, because I'm sure our listeners will be very happy to hear that. Again, back to Man Down. It's dropping on Friday, November 22nd. And, one thing that I was reading is that this is a very personal and artistic awakening for you, if you will. And what I wanted to speak to you about is you and I have something in common in the fact that we're both grandparents now, right? And so I wanted to kind of talk to you about, like, what is the difference in, this version of you now And how do you, when you're creating and you're writing and your process and all of that, like, what is it in your wisdom now, right? And in your critique, like, are you finding that you might be filtering yourself a little bit more or choosing your words a little more wisely? Are you still like, no, I'm just going to say what I want to say and be unfiltered with it? Like, what is that process like for you?
You know, it's still about telling it like it is. You know, when I was doing my earlier records, you know, my kids are small. Now they grown and they got kids, and I didn't hold nothing back or hide anything from them. And I think they were able to understand the world a lot better. And so, you know, I'm going to do what I feel is right for 2024. I'm definitely a more mature person, but some things have to be said no matter what. And we talking about rap,
Right.
music, so, you know, you're supposed to talk smack. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the
Yes.
resume of the game, you know.
Yes, it's
I don't
necessary.
want to turn into no preachy rapper and, you know, being school guy. You know what I'm saying? Enough of that. They don't need to hear it in the music. So, you know, I'm gonna do what it takes to be fresh, you know, to turn the fans on. And, you know, what's cool is I'm right here to explain it to everybody if they need to know what I'm talking about.
Right. Well, one thing that I was reading, especially about the new project, is like I had read a description that said you're calling for reflection and accountability in an age of misinformation and social downfall. And boy, It's My Ego speaks to a lot of that. But can you kind of expound on that just a little bit as far as the time we're living in? And
yeah, I mean, that's somebody's interpretation of the record, which is cool because everybody should kind of get the record and see for themselves what they feel, what they think. And, you know, it's really about just telling it like it is in an entertaining way. And it's still music, still entertainment, it's still art. So everything has to kind of follow those guidelines. But then if you can stick a message in there, you can give somebody some game or just give your perspective on it, it could help somebody. You know, you never know. So
yeah.
I'm always kicking the street knowledge.
Yes.
That's my style.
Yeah.
Everybody call it gangster rap, but it's really street knowledge. And that I'm not going to ever go away from that.
Well, and I like that you pointed out that it's entertainment. It's art. Like,
yeah,
you know, this ain't real life all the time, but there's some real life mixed in there. So don't get it twisted.
Without a doubt. You know, it's, you know, it takes artistic people to make music. I don't care how hard and gangster they want to try to be. They still very artistic people if they can create music that people like. And, you know, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. Could you shout out some of the producers that were featured on the new album as well?
My man E.A. Ski, California legend who did It's My Ego. Got another kid from up north in the Bay named Decades. David Banner did a couple of tracks for me, laced me with a couple of hits. Guy out of Houston named T-Mix did a lot with Suave House back in the day. He laced me with some good songs. Organized Noise, Beethoven. You know, we got a few heavy hitters in there as well. So it's to me, it's a cohesive record, and I'm glad to work with some of these dudes.
Now, when does the tour? Are you actually on tour already? Like, have you already started, or how long is that going?
No. You know, I'm just hitting Oklahoma. People wanted to see me out there. You know, so
what?
Making a special trip.
Wait a minute, back up. Making a special trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope. Well, come by the station then. We'll make something for you. I don't know what you need.
I'll holler at you. You know, ain't no problem with that.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
make it happen.
Come through the station.
Yeah,
I'll be here. I'm here on a Saturday. I'll be here the day you're performing.
Oh, cool.
Matter of fact, yeah. Would love that. That would be dope. Super dope. One of the big questions I definitely wanted to talk to you about as an artist, if there was any kind of words of advice or wisdom that you could impart, particularly to the artists here in our city, right? And I'll say our state. One of my roles here at the station is music director, and it's my job to go and try to find good music and bring it back to programming, right? And I'm allowed to have a category where songs can rotate within that category. And a lot of times I feel as if artists are trying to be something they're not. And so I guess what I'm asking you is, how would you encourage artists to continue creating, and what is kind of speak to your process as well?
Do what you feel. You know, you're going to be a happier artist if you do what you feel and not always what you think you should be doing. Like, a lot of people can get in your head as artists and, you know, have you making records and creating records that you're not really even feeling. I know a lot of people, well, a few people, I ain't going to say a lot, but a few people who had big hits, but they were not the kind of records that they really wanted to make. So even though they had a hit, they weren't happy. And so you got to fall in love with the music, not the money, and make the kind of music you like. And then from there, if it brings you success and money, that's kind of like the cherry on top. But you can't get into hip-hop trying to get rich. You know, you just got to love the music and do the music, and trust me, if it's right, people will dig it, get on it, and you'll be able to live out your dreams.
Thank you for that. I like that you led with do what you feel, what makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, is there
No
anything
problem.
else you would like to, leave our listeners with today? Any other information that you would like to add to that?
Now just come check me out when I hit the town. You know, I'll be there next week. Let's celebrate 40 years of hip hop.
Man, 40 years in the game, y'all. Saturday, November 16th, Ice Cube is going to be at River Spirit Casino here in Tulsa. You can catch him in Durant the night before. And I just want to say personally, thank you so much to everything you've contributed to the art. Your legacy will be long-standing. You are an icon, and I just really appreciate you taking the time to visit with us today. And man, I'm honored to be able to speak to you today. So I know my sister-in-law, Brenda, would be so happy that I'm talking. She had a check yourself before you wreck yourself t-shirt. I just keep having a visual picture of it. She had that song playing all the time back in the day. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you again for taking the time to visit.
No problem. Tell us what's up.
I definitely will. You heard it, Brenda. All right, let's get back into the music. It's 105 K Jams, hip hop and R&B hits.